Hello to all my uniques out there. This is your girl Akudo. Welcome to your unique world. I promised you guys that once you send in your quotes, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to explain the quotes and we're going to share knowledge, okay? Before I go any further, I want to encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel. You know the red button below the video that says subscribe. Click on that button and remember to also click on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to receive my videos when they come out. Share the video, give us a thumbs up, and encourage somebody with the video. Now let's jump right into
live from Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful. Wonderfully made by God. Welcome to the Big Show.
One of my uniques sent me this quote. The quote is by Charles Swindoll. That's the name of the guy that wrote the quote. He says, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. By Charles Swindoll. When you hear this quote, I was thinking, my unique said, okay, so Miss Unique, what would you say about that? How can life be just 10% of what happens to you and then 90% of how you react to it? Okay? With all pleasure, I'm here to explain. Life happens. Life happens to the best of us. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It can happen to your pastor. It can happen to your prophet. It can happen to your evangelist. It can happen to your mom. It can happen to your dad. It can happen to anybody. Life just happens. And when I mean life, I mean the good, the bad, and the ugly. We all have the good in our family, in our churches, in our workplace, among our friends. We also have the bad in our families, in our workplace, in our churches, and we also have the ugly in our churches, in our families, in our workplace. Life just happens. Some of us will lose our jobs. Some of us will not get married. Some of us will lose our marriages. Some of us will have that child that is not listening. Some of us will have that child that needs special care. Some of us will have that child that, is hooked on drugs. Some of us will have that child that is always in jail. Some of us will have spouses that are drunk, spouses that hit us, domestic violence. Some of us will have a lot of things happen to us. That's just life, my sister. That's just life, my brother. Don't think that, oh my God, mine is the worst. Oh, Jesus, I am the worst. Oh, honey, you are not. Life happens. Some of us our houses will be foreclosed. Some of us, our cars will be repossessed. Life happens. Some days you have the money to pay your bills. Some days you don't have the money to pay your bills. Some days everything is rosy and good. Some days, oh Lord, everything is going down. Nothing is working for you. That's just life. But the most important thing is the 90%. That part, the second part of the quote that says, and 90% of how you react to it. 10% is life that happens, and then 90% is how do you react to this life. And then you ask yourself this question, how is life just 10%? That's a small portion of the equation. Why 90% is how you react to it. By how you react to it, my uniques, I mean your attitude. Attitude is everything. My sister, my brother, attitude is everything. Your attitude in life will determine your altitude in life. Your altitude is how far you go. So how your attitude is will determine how far you will go in life. If you have a sour attitude, you look at everything negatively, you don't see the good in people, you don't see the good in nothing, remember, you cannot attract what you attack. Remember that, my uniques. So your attitude will determine your altitude in life. How far you're going to go is determined by your attitude. Now, before I go any further, let me define what attitude means. Attitude says a settled way of thinking or feeling. A settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something. You have made up your mind about this. You have settled your mind about that, about somebody or someone. He says it's typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. That is attitude. How you behave towards something. Your attitude, the impression, what you're thinking, what you're feeling towards that thing, towards that somebody, or towards whatever that is in front of you. Life will happen. That's a guarantee. Life will happen. Things happen. Bad things will happen. Remember, even the Bible said, even though, Psalm 23, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, God himself knows that that valley of the shadow of death is going to be there. But remember, he said you are going to walk through it. He didn't say you're going to be stuck in it. He didn't say you're going to build a tent in it. He didn't say you're going to build a house and live there. No, he said you're going to walk through it. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and your staff, your authority and your power, they are there with me. And I want you to remember that. When you remember that, my sister, change your attitude. When you remember that, my brother, change your attitude. Even the Bible is telling you life will happen. You're going to go through the valley of the shadow of death. There will be a time when it's going to be dark. There will be a time when all hope will be lost. There will be a time when you feel like the world is against you. There will be a time when you feel like, oh my God, why is it that I'm always the person getting the rough side of life? Yes, my sister. Yes, my brother, you're going to feel that way. It has happened to the best of us. You are nothing special, baby. We are all the same. It has happened to the best of us. We are unique, and it has happened to us in a unique way. But God is saying, this quote is also telling you how you react. How you react, your behavior towards life is what determines whether you go up or you go down.